Hi, Thomas Hyman here, founder and CEO of Realty Partners. And today's video, I want to talk about how specifically you can make money with the binary referral bonus program. I did another video on how to create wealth with Realty Partners, profit sharing and equity ownership program. This video is going to specifically deal with how to make money with the binary program. I created the binary program for two reasons. Number one, to really supercharge growth and expansion, have a vehicle to provide some immediate weekly income to the associates. You know, the profit sharing is something that is not going to kick in until the end of the year, and I would like to reward those agents that are helping spread the word about Realty Partners immediately, and a weekly payout on the binary plan is accomplishing that. And those people that are the most aggressive in the recruiting will obviously reap the greatest rewards with the plan. So it's called a binary plan because there are only two positions underneath each person, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit detail. Before I get started though, I want to point out some of the earning caps that we have within the binary plan. In order to qualify to earn money and to accrue volume, all you have to do is refer two people to a Realty Partner. So let's say, for argument's sake, here's you, and you refer two people. And let's say if your sponsor is up this way, your first person will be placed on your outside leg and your second person will be placed on your inside leg. So that is the only requirement to start making money. And you know, those two people that you brought on board, they're hopefully going to bring a couple of people on board. You might get some spillover from your upline. Maybe you bring a third person on board and place them here. So the organization is going to start to grow, and you will start making money right away. As soon as you have two people, one on your right, one on your left, you're going to start making money. And it's going to be the weaker leg that's going to determine how much money you make, and I'll go over that in a little bit more detail. Now we have earning caps. There are weekly earning caps. And when you first start out and you haven't qualified for any of the achievement levels, your earning cap is $1,000 per week. So when you first start out, you haven't had any closings yet, maybe you haven't generated a lot of volume, then your earning cap is limited to $1,000 per week. Now, this would be no qualifier. Once you and the people that you personally refer generate $7,500 in volume, which could be just a couple of closings, you move up to associate, and as an associate, your earning cap is now raised to $2,500 per week. And then as you continue to climb the ladder, we have a total of 4 achievement levels. Your earning cap increases. The next stage is the junior partner, which is $5,000 per week. Then we have partner, which is capped at $10,000 per week. And then the top position is senior partner, and as a senior partner, you're capped at $25,000 per week. Now, obviously, as you move up the ladder and go down, you know, from associate to junior partner to senior partner, the qualification requirements are more difficult. So naturally, there are going to be fewer people in those positions, and it's a merit-based plan that rewards people for hard work. But it's very important to understand that you have the opportunity to increase your weekly cap by moving up the ranks. Now, some people may think $10,000 a week or $25,000 a week, I mean, that really sounds unrealistic. Truth is, not everyone is going to achieve those levels, but some will. And because we chose a binary plan where literally every person that is going to come on to join the company in the coming months and coming years is going to be underneath someone that's in the company right now. And because every person can only have 2 people underneath them, it really drives very rapid growth, and the organization grows very, very deep. Eventually they're going to be hundreds and eventually thousands of levels deep. And then, the number of associates and the number of closings and the number of transaction volume that is generated can become quite huge. So it is absolutely possible, if you have 500 or 1,000 agents in your weak leg, and you just have an average number of transactions taking place, you could definitely make $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a week. But again, these earnings are capped based on your personal achievement. So for instance, if you join Realty Partners and you recruit a couple of people here and you have relatively little volume here, but this side just takes off like crazy, and you have people growing here, and plus you have a lot of spillover on the outside leg, and let's say you end up having 1,000 agents here, and let's say 10 agents here, and you may have let's say at any given month $1 million in closing volume here, but over here you have, let's say, $10,000 in closing volume, then of course your earnings are going to be driven by your weaker side, by this leg here, and you'll be capped at $1,000, 10% of $10,000 per month, so you'd be making about $1,000 a month. So it is merit-based, and your activity is going to determine how far you're going to go. Let's say another scenario, you bring on board 2 people, and you have a few closings yourself, you're not quite capping out, so you maybe bring in $10,000 to the company, and these 2 guys here, none of them are capping out, they're not big producers, and so you and them together, you only bring in about $25,000 over a year's time. But here's a lot of spillover taking place on this leg, and on this leg, let's say that this person here refers someone, and that person then just becomes a total superstar and goes on to become a senior partner. And let's say as a result, a couple of years down the road, as this continues to grow, you have a huge organization here, and you have a huge organization here because of the senior partner here that was referred by the number 2 person that you referred. You could generate just an immense amount of volume in this organization. So let's say you would have $250,000 weekly volume on each side, which is definitely possible. If you have 400, 500, 600 agents here and 400, 500, 600 agents here, and combine their closings, it's absolutely possible to have $250,000 in volume on each side. So in theory, 10% of that, if you were a senior partner, you could be making $25,000, 10% of your weaker leg. Let's say the weaker leg is $250,000. You could be making $25,000. But because you are at the associate level here, all you can make is $2,500 within a weekly cycle. So even though you have $250,000 in volume here, which would translate into $1,250 cycles, and would generate, in theory, $25,000 in commissions, you cap out at $2,500, so you're going to get $2,500, and $22,500, the difference, would go to the company, would stay with the company, and is wiped out. So it's not a lottery ticket, and it is designed to reward those the most that are contributing the most to the growth of the company in terms of referrals, etc. Now, but that being said, if you can make, as an associate, $2,500 a week, that's $10,000 a month, so you still have a very significant income opportunity, even without having to run out and recruit a ton of people. So all you need to participate in the plan, your qualifier is you're active and you bring on board 2 people, one on your left, one on your right, and that's it. So in theory, you know, if this person here refers some people and this person here refers some people, your organization is going to grow and you will make money, and it's going to increase over time. But you're going to be stuck here at the associate level unless you generate 30,000 in volume and make it up to junior partner, and so your earnings are capped. Now I want to talk about strategy in making money with this plan. One of the things that is very, very powerful in this plan is the whole concept of spillover. And the binary plan is designed on purpose to maximize spillover within the organization, not just spillover coming down from the top from myself, but also spillover generated by other people within the organization. And so, to explain spillover to begin with, the plan is written in a way that when you join the company, obviously you are going to be underneath someone, you're placed underneath someone, and that person that's above you has you either on their right leg or their left leg. So if you are on their left leg, if this is the person above you, then this left leg is your outside leg. If you were on their right leg, if the person's here and you are here, then the right leg would be your outside leg. And so the first person that you bring on board, number 1, has to go onto your outside leg, the next person goes onto your inside leg. Now, you may very well get spillover on the outside leg from people above you before you even refer your first person. So let's say you get some spillover from someone above you, and you know somebody's placed below you, and you may find that you have a few people below you before you even make your first referral. I mean, you could sign up tonight, and 2 hours later somebody else might sign up, and it's just the system's going to place them below you. So you may find someone below you. So now you're going to sign up your first person. Your first person has to go on your outside leg, but there are only 2 positions underneath each person. There can only be 2 people. So as a result, your first person would be placed at the bottom of your outside leg and underneath the person that was placed below you from your upline or your people above you. Then your second person that you bring on board would be here. And any subsequent person, if you were to bring a third or fourth person on, those people would be placed wherever you want to put them. And I'll talk about strategy here in a few minutes. So you're going to have this outside leg growing, and the binary plan basic video, which is a short 10-12 minute video, explains in more detail how spillover works. But it's a very, very powerful tool. Now this person here, let's say this here is Jeff and this here is Jane, and you brought Jane on board, and let's say Jane refers another person. Well, Jane is on your right leg, so this is going to be her outside leg. So Jane's first person, J1, would be placed here, and then Jane's second person, J2, would go here. And if you were to decide that I'm going to put person number 3 on this side, because let's say maybe this side here is already growing like crazy because of spillover from your upline from people above you. So you may say, you know, this person here recruits some people, and so you may say, okay, I'm going to put number 3 over on my right side, so it would have to go to the very bottom of your right leg, your inside leg, and so number 3 would go down here. And so this leg here has also a power leg. This person's and this person's power leg is going to be this leg here, while this left side leg would be your power leg because it's driven and it grows from spillover from your side. So every person that comes on board, this person here that was brought in by Jane, for this person, this is that person's power leg. So when this person sponsors someone, you know, number one is going to be here, and then number two is going to be here, and this becomes a power leg to this person. So you're going to start seeing some geometric progression, but because the first person is always placed at the outside leg of the person, it generates at some point spillover. Okay, so as this person brings on you know, another one here, it might go underneath there, or it might go underneath there. As you bring on another person, it might go below here, which impacts all of these people here, or you might decide to put one down here, and it impacts all of these people here. And it really fosters a very strong teamwork environment, because everyone supports everyone and everyone helps everyone. And it also generates motivation, because let's say, for example, if you start seeing this happening in your organization and you start to generate some volume, but let's say this side here grows much more rapidly because it's your power leg, then you may decide, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I can to find another one or two people to put below here, because that's going to ultimately drive my volume here, and I can be making a lot more money anytime there's a closing here, anytime volume happens here. And remember, it's 10%. So if you bring on another person, and let's say this leg has a lot more volume, and you bring another person here and they have a closing and it's $3,000 to the company, well, 10% of that is $300 to you. So, and it's not just that person that you bring on, but also anyone that they in turn bring on. So it becomes very, very powerful. Now, as you start making money with the binary plan, and you will start making some money even if you just refer two people, because those two people are going to have $100 a month volume on their minimum fee. So that's going to kick off checks eventually. Plus they're going to have some closings here and there, and your volume is going to carry forward until you hit a $250 cycle, and it kicks out a $25 check per cycle. So you will start making some money. The growth of the organization is going to determine how much money you make, obviously. And there are two considerations that you want to keep in mind. Two things you can do to maximize your earnings. When you first get started, obviously, you know, you're not qualified for anything, and hopefully within a short period of time, you're going to qualify for associate. Okay? Now, when you don't qualify for anything, when you first start, you're capped at $1,000 a week, which is not too bad, but you know, at some point, very quickly, you're going to qualify for associate, because to make money, you have to refer two people. So it's you plus two people, and you only have to generate $7,500. So it's just, you know, a couple of closings, and you hit the $7,500 volume. Realistically, if, let's say, you cap out and two people that you bring on board are generating just some minimal commission revenue, you should hit 30,000 and become a junior partner, but you're definitely going to get to the associate. So let's say you get started and you meet the requirements and you have personally referred two people. One of your legs is going to become much, much bigger than the other leg. That's almost inevitably happening. You're never going to have 50-50 distribution. It's very, very rare. Maybe if you only bring two people, none of them does anything, nobody brings anyone in, then maybe you might be at a 50-50 if you don't get any kind of spillover, which is very hard to do because usually there's spillover no matter what. But odds are, let's say this is your power leg, you're going to get spillover from the top, and they're going to recruit, and this person's going to recruit, and then this person is going to spill over, bring someone in that spills over, and this person is going to bring someone on that spills over, and so you're going to start seeing some significant volume taking place within the binary tree, and again, this here is going to be driven by people above you, you know, and you might have 2, 5, 10, 20, 50 people above you, and anytime one of them does something, it's going to go down to the very bottom. So it's very, very likely that you're going to get some significant spillover. And as a result, you're going to have one of those two legs take off. It could very well be that your spillover from up here is limited and all these people here are really not interested in recruiting, and you bring on your number 2 person, and then they bring someone on, and for some reason they really take off, and you end up having a superstar here, and this organization here could completely explode, and you might find that your volume here is going to be much bigger than on this side. If that happens, then of course this leg becomes your power leg. Your power leg is the leg that has the most volume. Now, starting January 1st, you will be able to log into your back office, and you will see how many people do you have on each site, number 1, total, not just the people you personally brought in. And every single week, you're going to see how much volume do you have on each side. So obviously it's going to be pretty easy to monitor. Let's say if you have $45,000 in volume here and $5,000 in volume there, then this is the power leg and this is the weak leg. If you have $5,000 in volume here, and let's say $50,000 in volume there, then of course this is your weak leg and this is your power leg. So the first strategy in maximizing your income under the binary plan is to try and balance those two sides. And it basically means that after your first 2 people that are being brought on board, you want to continually monitor what's going on. And if this volume here starts to take off, then any subsequent person you want to put down here. If this side starts to take off, then any subsequent person you want to put down here. Okay, so let's say this side is 50,000, this is only 5,000, and you refer another person, you're number 3, then of course you're going to put that person down here, which is not only going to add to this weak side, and as they bring on people, it's going to grow, of course, but of course this is also going to empower and motivate everyone between you and that position, because this person benefits this person and this person and this person and so forth, and you create sort of a ripple effect. So the first strategy is to balance and get these two sides as close as possible. And of course, that only happens through active recruiting. Now, as you actively recruit, you want to move up the levels of achievement towards junior partner, partner, and senior partner. And I want to quantify for you what each position means on average. Now, you may want to add 1 or 2 people to it just to be sure, but on average, I found that 1 agent equals $10,000 to the company. Okay, so that's the average that we're going to generate per year per agent. So obviously you could make it yourself to associate. You only need $7,500 to make associate, but you have to bring 2 people on board to participate in the binary plan. So you might qualify for associate, qualify for the associate profit sharing, and even invest as an associate shareholder. But to make money in the binary plan, you have to at least refer 2 people. So when you refer 2 people, it's you plus 2. So you plus 2 equals 3. So that should equal about $30,000 per year. Now it's pretty tight. The qualifier for junior partner is $30,000 exactly, and it's per calendar year. So if you join October 1st, you need to generate the $30,000 between October 1st and December 31st. So it might be pretty tight, so to be sure, you might add one more person to it in order to make sure you qualify for junior partner. So junior partner would translate into 3 to 4 agents total. You plus 2 or you plus 3, okay? Actually, let's make it easier. Let's say junior partner equals 2 to 3 referrals. Now partner, where your earning potential doubles from junior partner to partner, you need $60,000 in volume. So $60,000, you know, you plus 5 equals 6, that would be 60,000. But again, it's a little tight, so I would add 1 to 2 to that. So I would say if you refer 5 to 7 people, that will ultimately qualify you for the partner level, 5 to 7 people. And senior partner, which brings you up to the maximum of $25,000 per week, you need to generate $150,000 in volume to qualify for senior partner. So you plus 14 equals 15, 150,000. Now, of course, it could be you plus 9 if everyone caps out, but just looking at the averages, it's about 15 people. But then again, I would probably add 1 or 2 to that just to make sure that you have that extra buffer. So in reality, if you refer 15 to 16 people to Realty Partners, it could be done with less, it could be done with as little as 9, but looking at the averages, if you refer 15 to 16 people, then you would qualify for senior partner. And of course, if you refer 5, 6, 7 or 15, 16, and you monitor your volume and you decide where you're going to put that. You know, if you have this power leg that is just exploding on its own, then you might put 10 people down here to, generate some volume here. So you got to be strategic about it, but it's definitely achievable. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I can tell you from my own personal experience, which, you know, I'm out there talking to people, marketing, recruiting. It's definitely possible, but it's going to take you some time. You know, some of you may know all sorts of agents, and you might be able to bring 10, 15 people on board, you know, within a month. That would be fantastic. Some of you, it might take 2 or 3 years to get 15 or 16 people. But let me ask you this. Given the earning potential at the partner and senior partner level, would it be worth really focused work, effort for 2 to 3 years to bring on board 5, 6, 7, maybe 10, 15 people and have the double benefit of number 1, continually growing your income on the binary tree, and number 2, securing financial independence long-term based on your profit sharing and your equity ownership? My answer to that is absolutely yes. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm focused on that. So I hope this gave you a couple of ideas, some strategies for maximizing your earnings under the binary plan. The binary plan traditionally is an extremely powerful method of duplication because it is so simple. All you have to do is find 2 people. If you find more, great, better. If you find more, you'll be able to climb up the ranks more easily. So it's a very easy to duplicate process that will result in a lot of growth, number 1. And number 2, it really offers some amazing income opportunities to those people that are the most aggressive business builders. So if you look at a plan like this and you actually brought on board 10, 15, 20, or 30 people, your organization is going to explode and you're going to have a tremendous amount of volume. and the sky really is the limit at that point. So again, take a look at that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. This is Thomas Hyman, founder and CEO of Realty Partners, and I look forward to next time.